Prince Ivan returned, the Firebird, a beacon of blazing gold, in his grasp. But the triumphant fanfare he'd imagined was replaced by a suffocating silence. His vibrant kingdom of Eldoria was gone, shrouded in an unnatural twilight, every surface coated in a fine, gray ash that swallowed all color and sound. The air, once filled with the scent of pine and wildflowers, now tasted of smoke and sorrow. His horses' hooves made no sound on the ashen streets. Statues of citizens, frozen mid-stride, their faces etched with surprise and terror, lined his path to the castle. Each one was a ghost, a memory turned to stone and dust. He pushed open the heavy castle doors, which swung inward with an eerie, weightless creak. The grand hall, a place of celebration and life, was now a desolate chamber of shadows. Ash-dusted banners hung limp and lifeless, and a chilling cold emanated from the throne at the far end of the room. There, slumped in the High King's seat, was his father, his eyes vacant, his skin the color of old parchment. But standing over him, a hand resting possessively on the throne's carved arm, was a figure wreathed in shadow and smoldering embers, the Ash King. His form was a nightmare of shifting smoke and glowing coals, and his voice was the crackle of a dying fire. "You are too late, little prince," the Ash King rasped, his words carrying the chill of the grave. "This kingdom, this man, they are all mine now, a vessel for my return." "Father," Ivan cried out, rushing forward, but a wall of spectral, grey flames erupted before him, forcing him back. The Firebird in his hands pulsed with a fierce, protective light, its warmth a stark contrast to the hall's deathly cold. "Your father is gone," the shadow hissed. "There is only ash." The Ash King lunged, not with a physical body, but as a wave of consuming darkness. Ivan raised the Firebird, and a torrent of pure golden fire met the tide of shadow. The hall became a battlefield of light and dark, gold and grey. For every inch of darkness, the Firebird's light reclaimed. The Ash King's power surged from the throne, from the very stones of the castle, fueled by the despair of the petrified kingdom. Ivan fought with all the strength and skill he possessed. But the Ash King was not just an enemy. He was a plague, a curse woven into the fabric of his home. He could feel his own hope beginning to fray, turning to ash in the face of such overwhelming despair. The Firebird chirped, its voice a melody of pure magic in Ivan's mind. It showed him a vision, not of victory, but of sacrifice. It revealed the Ash King's nature, a being of pure void, an emptiness that could not be destroyed, only contained. To banish him was to merely postpone his return. The vision cleared, and Ivan understood the terrible price of true victory. He had to become the vessel, the cage. "No," Ivan whispered, shaking his head. But he looked at his father's empty shell, at the frozen figures in the courtyard, and knew there was no other way. To save Eldoria, he had to give up his own future. With a final resolute breath, Ivan lowered his sword. He held the Firebird aloft and spoke to it, not as a master, but as an equal. "I am ready." He walked through the wall of spectral flames, the Firebird's light shielding him. The Ash King recoiled, surprised by the prince's advance. "You cannot defeat me." The shadow screeched, "I am not here to defeat you," Ivan said. his voice steady and calm. "I am here to end you." He plunged the Firebird not at the Ash King, but into his own chest. The world exploded in a silent supernova of golden light. It was not a feeling of pain, but of becoming. He felt the Firebird's eternal flame merged with his soul, burning away his fear, his sorrow, his very identity. At the same time, the Ash King's void rushed into him, a chilling emptiness seeking to consume the light. Ivan became the nexus, the balancing point between creation and oblivion. The ash on the castle walls dissolved. The banners regained their color. Outside, the gray shroud over Eldoria lifted, and the sun broke through. The stone statues' soft color returning to their skin as they gasped, drawing their first breath of fresh air. They looked around, confused, with no memory of the curse, only of a sudden, strange moment of stillness. The king stirred on his throne, blinking, as if waking from a long, dreamless sleep. But Prince Ivan was gone. In the sky above the restored kingdom of Eldoria, a new star blazed, a brilliant point of gold and silver light, a star that held the balance, a prince who became a cage, a silent guardian watching over his home for all eternity. The legend of the Firebird was complete, a story whispered from one generation to the next, a reminder that the greatest love sometimes requires the ultimate sacrifice.